Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Kaelan's story. And as we are here, we've just finished a task that you performed in another plane, and we are going to jump ahead just a little bit to the next day. I'm going to assume that you do indeed go get breakfast.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. You gain 6 temporary hit points, as today's breakfast appears to be hotcakes in a various form of different syrups and bacon and sausage and those sorts of things.
Good deal. All right.
When you get to the Ranger's classroom, I will change the map real quick.
Are there sausages with the hotcakes?
Yes.
I think he'll make like a makeshift pigs in a blanket.
Okay. You do.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll for that.
All right.
As you enter the Ranger's classroom, you do see that Tierra is here, and Triss looks up at you as you enter, and she says, "All right, Kaelan.
Morning.
Good morning. I have a new task for you.
All right.
What do you know about the Fall Festival?"
I mean, they probably had it where he came from, like a celebration of sorts.
Mm-hmm. It was in Phobos. It was mostly like a feast, and there's entertainers and dancers and things like that talking about the story of the fall, the asteroid. But that's where you're from.
Maybe a boat race in the lagoon or something like that.
Sure, that is
All
now
right.
canon.
All right. Sounds good. I know it's a festive event of the return of the gods.
Right. Well, around here, it's a little different around here. And you
All
see
right.
Tier like folds his arms and listens as he leans back against the tree. And Triss goes on to say, "And you're gonna help set up for it. Because I'm telling you to."
All right. What do we have to do?
During the Fall Festival, the town of Ferrum, or at least the docks district of Ferrum, is cleared out of all civilians and sealed off. Then, teams of students from the Mariguard Academy go into that section of town, along with an assortment of monsters.
Oh, all right.
All sorts of beasts and creatures from all over the dang place, and each one is decorated with a little stone totem. And the team of students that, at the end of the festival, has the most totems, wins.
All
You follow?
right. All right. I'm tracking on what's going on.
Right.
Okay. So what are we supposed to do? Track beasts and animals for capture?
Well, right now, what I'm going to have you do, there's been reports of ambush drakes in the Allen Forest. So,
Oh,
you're going to go talk to Persh, get yourself a partner, and go track some down. And with that, Triss throws a leather pouch at your feet. I need that back when you're done.
all right. And he'll pick it up.
It weighs more than you thought it would, and it has the material of the bag is odd to you. It doesn't feel like there's anything in the bag, despite how heavy it is.
What's in the bag?
Nets.
Oh.
Every time you get an ambush drake, you're going to knock it unconscious, not kill it. You're going to knock it unconscious, net it up, and throw it in that bag.
All right. Do I know what a ambush drake is?
Roll me a nature check.
Starting off so strong.
No. No, you do not.
All right. We may have been calling them different in Phobos, but what's an ambush drake?
Triss kind of tilts her head. It's a kind of dragon, but they're little, and they don't have wings, and they don't breathe any sort of fire or anything like that. Some of them have poisonous bites. They're predators that are pretty common in the forest, and apparently a new pack has moved in. They kind of think of like draconic wolves.
Oh, all right.
They're dangerous if they can sneak up on you, but if you get the jump on them, I'm sure you can handle it. I want you to try and get as many as you can out of the forest today.
All right.
You have 6 nets in there, so
very well. 6 it is.
Good luck. And then she looks over at Tyr, and Tyr says, "You want me to go with him?" And Triss says, "Nope. You are out here in the woods today looking for boggles." And Tyr just says, "Oh, fuck off."
Can I grill for boggle?
Yeah. You know
nature.
what a boggle is, but roll me a nature.
Okay.
Yeah, you've heard of boggles. They're annoying little fey creatures that like to play pranks.
I think Kaelan will laugh and good fucking luck.
Thanks. And you see he kind of like kicks his bow up into his hand and slides it on his back, and Triss throws a bag to him too. This is going to suck.
All right. All in for this is, I think I have an idea. All right.
Go talk to Persh. See who he's got for you.
Gotcha. All right. And I'll head on out to Persh. I need to plug in my headset real quick.
Go ahead.
All right.
You
Plugged
good?
in. Yep.
All right. All right. As you approach Persh looks up at you and he says, "Good morning, Kaelan."
Morning, Persh. On a mission to find some drakes.
Right. I've heard lots of students are going out on a mission today. Let's see.
They're ambush drakes, yeah?
Yep.
That's what they're called?
That's what they're called.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a D... Okay. So roll me a D4.
Got it. D4. 4.
Okay, roll me a D6. Go into the marshals.
5.
Okay. Roll me another D4.
D4. 2.
All right. Persh, you watch as he leans down after he checks his ledger, picks up the sending box and pulls the blue stone to his mouth and says, "Makito, I have a student going on a free agency out into the woods." "Right. Yeah, please send him down. He'll do fine." And he puts the stone away, looks at you and says, "Your partner will be out in just a minute."
All right. I recognize the name Makito. It's the barbarian instructor, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I've met him before at breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes a few moments until your sharp perception picks up the sound of metal on metal, of heavy armor approaching. And as you look around the corner, a 6'2" individual enters the room. They carry a sword and shield, and they wear full armor, including helmet.
Right.
And as
Wow.
he enters the room, he looks at you, and he says, "You have a task for me?"
Aye, we have a task. We're collecting ambush drakes. I don't believe we've ever met. I'm Kaelan. Ranger
Hiram.
student. Hiram. Nice to meet you.
The pleasure's mine.
Right. Have you been in the Olin Forest yet?
A few times.
All right.
He just kind of looks at you. You notice his armor shows a lot of wear. It is fitted to the individual. It's clear that he seems comfortable in it. But the armor itself is almost a little, not dirty, but it's oiled, and the oil shows that it's aged. The armor has seen a lot of use, it looks like. You notice that with your crazy perception. He looks at Persh and then back to you, and he doesn't say anything. And Persh says, "Right, so I assume you have your tasks information. This is not a free agency, actually. This is a task as provided by the Mariguard Academy itself. So, if you perform well, from what I understand, there may be a bonus in it for you."
All right. We'll do our best.
Gold talks.
All right, Hiram. Have you ever seen an ambush strike before?
We roll for him. He nods.
All right. I got 6 nets. So 6 it is. We're gonna try. Hopefully I don't break through them. But let's do it.
Lead the way.
He will.
Okay.
And as we both step out. All right. So your armor doesn't make you quiet.
No.
All right. I think the plan is I'm gonna set up some traps, and we'll have you rain them into my traps. Sounds pretty simple enough, right?
I can handle that.
Good deal.
So
All right.
you head out of the Mariguard Academy, discussing your plan and strategy. As you do, you head toward the chapel gates and out to the forest. I need you to roll me a d8.
Okay. Three.
Okay. You do not have any random encounters on your way out of town.
Great.
As you head into the forest, we can skip this map and go straight into the Allen Forest. You've been here before.
I have.
You have Hiram with you. As you make your way out into the woods, it's clear Hiram has experience traveling through the forest. He's not as loud as you would expect with how much armor he's wearing. It does not take long for you to notice this man is likely proficient in survival, which is a unique change from your last few partners.
Good. You seem to know your way around the forest. This should be easy then.
Aye. He doesn't say much else.
All right. Since you've seen these before, let's start looking for signs. And
He helps you. He
Right.
just points out other trails. Why don't you go ahead and roll me survival at advantage?
Sweet. Love it. Hey, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. With a 26, it doesn't take you long before you find not a game trail, but what looks like the sort of broken brush and tangled undergrowth that reveals a few scales. You find the trail of a drake.
All right. I am gonna pick up these scales and gonna use them. Do I see where the direction this drake went?
With a 26, yes. Yes, you do.
Okay.
You can tell, with a little bit more searching, you find a medium-sized print. It shows 3 claws breaking into the soil. You can tell that the creature is likely fairly heavy, maybe about 300 pounds.
Okay.
It's going to be tricky to deal with, but you have a good idea which way it went. And as
All
you...
right.
how are you handling this? Are you going to try and track it down, or are you going to try and set a trap for it?
I'm gonna try and set a trap for it, and just kind of run it perpendicular to where it was going. Because as soon as it hears Hiram, or our original plan, is for him to funnel into my traps. So
You're using
I'll
him
set
as
up-
bait, basically.
Oh, they hunt, right? Okay.
Yes, they are predators.
They're predators. That's right. They're not. They don't run from.
They're not
loud
afraid
noises.
of you, no.
Okay. I think we'll just track it. But I will hand Hiram one of the scales, just because it probably has a scent on it, and that scent will probably not make it wary of our. Hopefully it's strong enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hand one of these scales to Hiram.
He takes it and looks at it in his gauntlet.
To see if we can mask our scent, make it confused.
Smart.
All right,
He doesn't say anything else.
let's go. Let's go this way.
He follows you. And with that 26 in survival, you begin to try and track the trail of this drake that you've discovered.
Okay.
Roll me a perception check at advantage, as you are still being aided by Hiram.
Hey, 25.
With a 25, you make short work of tracking down the first ambush drake. It is not a solitary creature. You see that this trail is joined by another trail as you're following it, and you are pretty sure that you are trailing 2 drakes at the moment.
All right.
With that 25, you get the feeling, by the silence of nearby birds, that you are approaching an ambush drake or 2. And now is the time to be quiet.
Yeah. I'll signal to Hiram to just kind of be aware, and then put a finger to his lips, and then just slow down.
Okay.
Like just hand signals. No speaking.
Go ahead and roll me stealth.
Sweet. Ooh, all right.
Okay, even with disadvantage, Hiram rolled a 19.
Awesome.
Yeah. Apparently the dice are in our favor today. Holy shit. The 2 of you creep along the trail. And you realize, as you are moving forward, you spot something. It's kind of a dullish gray-green, sticking out from underneath some undergrowth, and you realize it is a tail. You have gotten behind an ambush drake, and it does not know you're there.
Pause real quick.
Okay. You are sneaking up on an ambush drake that is unaware of your presence. How do you handle this?
Right. Is it considered a medium or a small creature?
It is a medium creature. A big
Okay.
medium creature.
Big medium. Okay. Not supposed to kill it, but all right.
You can choose to make attacks non-lethal.
Even with a bow.
Any attack you can make non-lethal. It's the
All
flavoring is you shoot it like in the leg or in the cloth,
Okay.
as to immobilize those sorts of things.
Right. I will go ahead and knock an arrow and look at Hiram and see and nod to him to get ready with whatever he needs to get ready with.
He has a shield in hand. You watch as he silently draws a longsword from a leather scabbard.
All right. Okay. I think as soon as he's ready, I will kick off, trying to shoot it in the leg, trying to not kill it, and also slow it down. Hopefully.
Okay. Then immediately what is going to happen is I need you and Hiram to both roll initiative.
Okay.
And as that happens, you get a surprise round.
Okay. Cool. One to two.
Okay. All right, so ignore the turn order for the moment, even though you are going first, as you and Hiram both attack an ambush drake. Go ahead and roll your attack. It has an advantage, as it is a surprise. Yes, they are ugly.
All right. Advantage. I'm getting pretty. I think this may be the last day for the longbow +1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right. 18.
18 hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage. 12. Ooh, that's a good hit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You land your attacks, and I'm sorry. You loose your arrow, and it strikes the leg of the creature, and it immediately whips around with this strange guttural snarl. It's not super reassuring that it is seemingly mostly surprised by your attack and not reeling in pain. But then Hiram takes his surprise round, and he surges forward. And he is much faster than he looks. He darts through the brush, running up to the ambush drake, and as he does, for flavor, he flips the longsword around in his hand, so he's holding it by the blade, and slams the ambush drake with the hilt of the weapon. He has advantage on this, as it is a surprise. Okay, he just nat 20'd. Yeah, so in the brief moment where the ambush drake is completely caught unawares, your arrow pins it in place, and Hiram just rushes up through it and just slams it in the skull with the hilt of the longsword. And as quickly as it was alerted to your presence, it is unconscious. Yeah, 1d8 plus 8 plus... Yeah, it has 10 hit points left. It is unconscious.
All right.
That's a crit in Crunchy Crits. So, as soon as combat began, it is over.
We were tracking 2, so he wouldn't be immediately like. He'll look around for if if the other one was here too. But it's just the one. Okay.
Roll perception. $23. You do hear the brush, maybe about 20 feet away, shift in response to this noise. The sudden noise of the arrow striking, of Hiram running, and of the surprised squawk of the ambush drake.
Okay. I think that will alert him to pull back, but he doesn't see the target yet, so he's going to wait for it to make itself known.
Okay.
And then Hiram, and I'll be pointing at where I saw the movement.
Hiram, who is at the moment checking the ambush drake to make sure it's not actually dead, looks up at you, and then you see his helmet turn to where you pointed, and he nods. And he resumes a guarded stance, down on one knee, and he waits.
Yeah, holding an arrow for if it shows itself.
Hold on. Okay. There is a long pause. Suddenly, surprising Hiram, the ambush drake leaps from another brush, one that it managed to sneak around to. And as it pounces onto Hiram, you take your attack, as you called you were holding it.
Okay.
Hiram doesn't see it because it's jumping from behind him.
Oh, shit. Right. Oh,
10 will not hit. The ambush drake has advantage on its attack as it reveals itself. One moment. However, in his full plate and shield, Hiram is a hard cookie to hit. There is the sound of scale and bone on metal as this ambush drake leaps onto Hiram's back, and he manages to whip around just at the noise, just in time to swat with the shield, and you hear this as the ambush drake is knocked off of him and onto the ground. The attack just barely missing. Hiram flips the sword back around again, and he looks at you as it's your turn.
all right. Going for a leg shot again.
Okay.
That should hit.
Uh-huh, that certainly does. That hits an adult dragon, let alone a shitty little guard drake. 10 non-lethal. Okay. Again, a solid hit. The guard drake's leg is punctured. It is now the guard drake's turn.
Oh, is it? Hold on. If I have some movement, is it right up against Hiram?
Yeah, it's within 5 feet of him. It just attacked him.
Okay, gotcha. So he's going
the
to...
layout should be more like this.
Gotcha. All right, so he's going to switch up, take out his tomahawk, and flank it with Hiram.
Okay. The ambush drake is whipping back and forth, trying to keep its eyes on both of you, and is distracted, but it's going to try and make a bite attack. It noticed just how hard it was to bite Hiram, and so it's going to try and bite you.
All right.
That's an 11 to hit.
Nah. It does not hit.
No surprise there. now it's Hiram's turn because this ambush drake can't get away. Hiram raises the longsword and will bring it down, bring the hilt of it down once more, trying to clobber this thing into unconsciousness. And he has advantage because of you. That advantage makes it a 22 to hit, which certainly does hit. Okay, Hiram clocks the thing for 6 points of damage, non-lethal. And he looks up at you, and he nods. It's your turn. You have advantage.
Okay. Awesome. Tomahawk. Coming down. He's not going to hit with the blade part of it, but just like...
just hammer clock it.
Hammer it. Yeah, hammer it.
Go ahead. Make your attack non-lethal. Uh-huh. That hits.
Sweet.
The two of you are making short work of these two.
7.
Damn it. It is unconscious.
All right.
And with that, you have successfully defeated these two. Hiram kind of rolls his shoulders and says, "Easy enough."
Good work. All right. He'll look in the bag with the nets.
You don't see the nets.
She said there was nets in here.
You don't see anything in the bag. It's kind of a void.
He'll just reach his hand in there and try to, like, take out a net.
Thinking about nets, a net, you feel it in your fingertips.
All right. The fuck? All right. Hey, you want to net that one over there? I'll net this one.
Pass it over.
I'll toss it over to Hiram.
Okay. As you work to bind these creatures up in nets, go ahead and roll me survival.
Okay. Not bad.
18. The net, when you hold it, is not a normal net. The fibers of the net feel very smooth and soft. And as you wrap up this ambush drake in the net, you see there is almost this slightly glowing blue field or surface that goes in between each square of the net.
Huh. Have you ever worked with nets like these before? Never seen them.
I will roll. Natural 20. Hiram says, "They're breather nets. They give them air while they're in the bag of holding you're given."
Oh, all right. A bag of holding. All right. Very well.
And he also has bound his ambush drake up. It's quick. The nets are magical and make this task very simple indeed.
Think they'll both fit in here, or just one?
I think all 6 will fit in there.
Okay, all right. He will try to fit the drake that he's just put in the net into the bag.
So the opening of the bag opens fairly wide enough that you can feed the tail and feet of the drake into it, and it's almost as though the drake is falling into a pit as it falls into the bag. It still only weighs 15 pounds.
All right, I need one of these. That's for sure.
Pass it over.
Right, and I'll toss over the bag.
Hiram tucks the other ambush drake into the bag, and you have successfully captured 2 ambush drakes.
All right.
If they all go that easy, this should be quick.
Oh, he knocks on some wood. Right. Let's keep moving.
Lead the way.
let's go ahead and try to track or spot another trail. Trusting Hiram to tell me if he sees anything.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me survival at advantage as Hiram aids you.
All right.
25. All right. I need to roll a D100 here. As you are walking through the forest, for a long while, there's no sign of any other ambush drakes anywhere. They just aren't here, which is a little frustrating because you know you're looking in the right areas. You are spotting game trails for other creatures. You find a bear track. You find all sorts of markings of wildlife of other creatures. An hour passes as you're making your way through the forest until suddenly you find another scale nestled in a track. This is not the trail of an ambush drake, but it is the trail of what looks like deer. And this scale tells you that they are being stalked by an ambush drake.
Right. Looks like we got one hunting deer. He'll pick up the scale. He's just gonna collect them now.
Okay.
The more he sees. And he's gonna get on the trail of this deer to see if he can save a deer from an ambush drake.
Okay. Go ahead and
Good.
roll me another survival check at advantage, as Hiram is still helping you.
Low
That's
rolls.
less good. Still a 16, which is not bad. As you are making your way down through the forest, the Allen Woods are, in many ways, more forgiving than the Skywood that you have become accustomed to when you are practicing your ranger skills. In ways, the warmer climate almost makes the forest easier to read. There's more moss, there's more undergrowth. It's easier to see what is going on. And while you may not be able to see quite as far into the forest as the Skywood, what you do see is telling. With a 16, as you're making your way through, you do have to slow down, unfortunately, as there is a lot of noise in the trail that you're following. And while tracking the deer is easy, tracking the ambush drake is not. So, with a 16, you at one point begin to just focus on tracking the deer, making your way through and along this game trail, pushing through the brush, and as you do, I need you and Hiram to roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
Hiram rolled a 15.
Not bad for a disadvantage.
Not bad for disadvantage. Hiram's dice are apparently great.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway. You make your way through the trees, pushing onward. It isn't long before I'm going to require another perception check from you.
Okay. As we're doing this, do I get a sense for, like, do I get a sense of, like, who or what kind of a background Hiram is? Like, whether he's half elf.
Through the helmet and armor?
Yeah.
Roll me an insight check.
Okay.
The DC's pretty high.
Eh.
12. You have no idea what race he is.
Okay.
He's fairly tall. He could be a human. He could be a short Goliath. Could be a tall elf or a tall half-elf.
Okay.
There's no sign of horns or anything like that. he smells of oil and chain and sweat. So it's probably not an Azamar because they, for some reason, never smell bad at all.
All right.
You could try talking to him.
That would just cross his mind for a minute. But Hiram doesn't seem like a talker, so he's just gonna leave it alone for now.
Okay.
Perception.
Yes, perception, please.
Ah, damn. All right.
You have advantage. He's helping you still.
Oh. Better.
That's a natural 20. With a natural 20, it's another 15 minutes that you're following this game trail, and the quiet of wildlife around you makes you feel as though you are nearing something, some threat or some danger or something like that, until you hear conversation. There is a campfire. With a natural 20 of a 27, you smell the smoke of a campfire that is maybe 200 feet off to your westerly direction, and you hear a conversation that is not quiet. The sounds of people laughing and talking about a successful hunt in the woods, which Hiram doesn't hear because he didn't roll a natural fucking 20. But he does seem to notice something is off as he's looking around. No, probably noticing the lack of noise of wildlife.
There's a fairly loud camp over there. There's no signs of wildlife. So we may be walking into the site of an ambush. Let's go do some overwatch on them. What do you say?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Where are you from, by the way? I know this is not the time, but
he kind of like tilts his helmet in your direction, and he says, "Nosvidanya."
Oh, all right. I was just curious, and it was eating at me. So,
where are you from?
Yeah, Phobos.
I could tell.
Could you?
Yep.
That's a question I'm gonna have to ask later. Is how?
Hiram doesn't say anything.
Let's get to work. So we're gonna watch the. I'm gonna go sneak over and watch the camp and see if I can see anything on the outskirts of the camp, preying on the camp.
Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Roll me a survival check.
Okay.
With a 13, it seems as though this camp is extremely loud and has scared away anything that would be of interest in here. You don't see any signs of the ambush drake that you were tracking. You don't see any signs of the deer. In fact, the noise that this camp is creating in the campfire, you can see that they are cooking what looks like a turkey or some sort of large bird over the fire. And it's a group of 3 individuals. They look lightly armored and not well armed. You see one of them has a longbow. The other 2 look like they have slings on their belt.
Oh boy.
Yeah. These are townsfolk.
All right.
And you know, as someone who has been in the forest quite a bit, this amount of noise and a fire would probably push even predators away.
All right. He'll sneak over to Hiram. I think they've actually steered the drakes away. Let's get out of the range of them.
Good call. We'll see if we can find more of their tracks.
All right. Let me know if you see anything. And
Roll survival at advantage.
Hey, there we go.
You move away from the obnoxiously loud townsfolk camp, getting out farther into the woods, and when you can no longer hear them, you begin to look in earnest once more, trying to find the trail of maybe the same ambush drake or another or anything. You're just looking for the reptilian prince of the ambush drakes. With a 25, it doesn't take you long, maybe another 30 minutes of carefully inspecting the ground and nearby brush, that you find the scratches on tree roots that are characteristic of a drake's claws. You found another trail.
Got another trail here. Let's follow it.
Good work.
So,
lead the way.
How do you know I'm from Phobos? As I'm trying to track.
It's your accent.
Oh, you run into a lot of people from Phobos.
We've run into a lot of people.
All right. Did you sail a lot for Nosfodania, or?
No. They came to where I was a lot.
And where's that?
You're one for the small talk, huh?
We're we're doing so well. I just curious.
I used to work at a tavern.
All right. Very well. Meet a lot of people there then.
Sure did.
Survival advantage.
Yep.
2 19s.
2 19s for 26. Okay. Yeah. I need you to roll me a stealth.
Okay.
As well as Hiram. Maybe now he'll roll poorly.
Oh.
You rolled poorly.
I rolled a 6, yeah.
He rolled a 15 and a 14.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so he rolled real good. Okay, he looks at you as you are you're like trying to, kind of weasel some more information out of him. As you're slowing down in the practice of, being quiet in the forest. But every so often questions just pop into your head and you ask them with a 13. They're quiet enough that you don't think you're giving yourself away. After a couple moments, Hiram will be like, shh. Just quiet. We're looking for hunters here.
Gotcha. All right.
I need to roll a D100. Okay. Kaelan.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is an interesting turn of events. As you are hushed by Hiram, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-huh. Hey.
Hey, success. Okay. A ambush drake suddenly flies out of the nearest underbrush next to you. You catch sight of it right before it actually closes the distance, and you dip to the side, get away from it before it can actually bite you. There is the strange snarling and hissing of other ambush drakes, just this horrible guttural of other entities. And the ambush drakes get a surprise round on you.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Another ambush drake leaps from the trees and is going to attempt to bite you. With advantage. That's a 14 to hit.
Nah.
Yep. The last one's going to leap out and try and bite Hiram.
Okay.
With advantage. That's a 22 to hit, which will hit Hiram. This is how you're actually laid out. Hiram was behind you. You were in the front. There's a guard drake here and here on you, and there's a guard drake here on him.
Okay.
So, I'm going to add you to the initiative order. Go ahead and roll initiative while I roll damage on Hiram. Okay, I need to make a con save for Hiram.
21.
Hiram rolled a 6 on his con save. Hiram is poisoned. He suffers the effects of poison and takes an additional 2 damage, so that's 8 damage total. Okay.
Oh, boy.
As they leap out, you get to go first. But you hear Hiram say, "Ugh!" And you can tell he's breathing heavy and he sounds frustrated.
Okay.
The barbarian is likely to rage on his turn. It's now your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, so he's Kaelan's gonna slip between them and not leave their sight, but he is going to knock an arrow and shoot at this one next to Hiram.
Okay, that ranged attack is at disadvantage because there are enemies within 5 feet of you.
Okay. Actually, we'll go with just the tomahawk.
Okay, on which one?
We're gonna go for this one, the one in between us.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right.
7. Okay. You slam this ambush drake with the back of your tomahawk.
I think we'll, yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to find something.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to use this one. So I can mark it. And does it deal damage as soon as I mark it as my favorite foe?
The first time on each of your turns that you hit, including when you mark it.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So go ahead and click damage. Yep.
Extra 3.
Okay. All right. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. It's the ambush drake's turns. The one on Hiram is going to attack again. Okay. It lands a hit. Hold on. Hiram gets bitten, and I need to make another con save for him. Alright. Hiram takes a chunk of damage, getting through his guard just briefly. Whoops. Numlock was off. There we go. Alright. The next ambush drake is going to attack you. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
I need you to make a con save for me, please.
Right.
It's 2 piercing damage, and you succeed. It's 2 piercing damage. Wow. All right. Then this other ambush drake is going to bite you. That's a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Con save, please.
Oh, no.
That is 4 piercing damage. Oh, and that is a failure. Hold on. 4 piercing damage plus 2 poison damage.
Okay.
So 6 total. And you are poisoned until the end of your next turn. So for the next turn, you have disadvantage on everything. Because you feel sickened.
All right.
And so now Hiram's turn. Hiram, you see he kind of... his whole body tenses. His shoulders go up near his neck, and he grasps the longsword tightly in his gauntlet, and he rages. It's kind of a quiet rage. There's no roar or anything like that. And he begins to wail on this ambush drake.
All right.
That is a 15 to hit, which will hit. So he brutally slams the ambush drake with the hilt of the longsword for 10 points of damage. Oh, plus 2. Because he's raging. And he is going to shift and move just here so that he gives you flanking on this ambush drake.
Cool. All right.
And now it's your turn.
Taking advantage of the split attention of this drake, gonna do a straight roll with a tomahawk.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, despite the dizziness that you're feeling, a 24 hits.
Yeah. All right, 9 plus favored foe.
You have the potential to knock it unconscious right now if you roll well. That is not well. Okay. It is.
It's not.
All right.
Damn.
It is still up.
Okay. Do I have anything with a bonus action? Probably not. Actually, yeah, he's gonna go for take out a dagger in his offhand and try to bonus action.
Stab without your dex?
Yep.
All right, so roll an attack.
Uh,
22 certainly hits. Go ahead and roll damage, but it's just a d4. No dex bonus.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll a d4.
You need to roll a 2. You beat it. It is knocked unconscious. This ambush drake is out.
Okay.
That's your turn, I
and then,
believe.
Yeah, and then I'll move so Hiram doesn't get encased, and I don't either.
Good call.
And that's it.
At the end of your turn, it's now the ambush drake's turn, and you no longer feel sickened. The nausea goes away. This ambush drake is going to try and bite you. But first, it's going to move here.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. That's a 14 to hit.
No.
Well, it tried. Okay, the other ambush drake is going to... It is not happy with what Hiram just did to it, so it's going to try and bite him. That's a natural 1. Doesn't stand a chance.
I think as this one tries to bite me, what's the draconic word for no?
Kiath.
I'll just bop it on the nose with the handle of the dagger and just say no in draconic. Kiath.
It understands you, oddly enough. You see it looks at you with like... It doesn't actually speak draconic, but it does understand it. Hiram is continuing his rage and is going to swing again.
Sweet.
You know, he's going to do it reckless. Do it again. Yes. That's a crit. Okay. Jesus, the dice tonight. Okay. Yeah, I don't have to... It's a D8 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8. It's unconscious. It had 10 hit points. And they rolled max. Okay. He raises the longsword high over his head and just brings the hilt down like a hammer. And as the drake is slathering, trying to get its teeth through his armor, he just... and it is on the ground.
Just face plants.
Exactly. Hiram is just... like, the rage is clearly affecting how he is. His teeth are grit underneath the helmet, and he looks at you and then over at the other drake, and then he quickly surges and darts to the far side of this drake.
Awesome.
Now your turn.
Okay. Let's go for it. Tomahawk and dagger at the same time. Oh,
a 13 is their AC.
Okay. Whew.
Really digging deep here. 7 plus your D4.
7 plus the D4 from the favored foe.
10.
10, and then the dagger without the dex. Hey, 24.
That certainly hits.
And another D4. 4. 14 points.
Okay. Yeah, the ambush drake, you wail on it. It is not looking good. Its turn. It is going to... Well, you just wailed on it, so it's going to try and bite you again.
Okay.
$13 to hit.
Nope. He will put the dagger and tomahawk together at the blades and just push it back.
Its talons and claws are like over the weapons, and you're managed to keep it at bay. As it is distracted, Hiram will swing his longsword at advantage. And hits with a 22. Okay. That's 5 points of damage. It is... Nope, he's raging. That's 7 points of damage. It is unconscious. Okay. You basically shove it back, and as it is back onto its four legs, just the longsword's hilt on the back of its head, and it on the ground.
We just breathe out.
Hiram is like, he's clearly still raging. He forcibly and mechanically puts the longsword back in his scabbard, looking down at the drakes. And it's clear that he has to go through like a visible calming down before he says, "That hurt."
Yeah, I got hit too. Maybe we should take a bit of a rest after this, after we put him in the bag.
Aye, in like a minute.
Yeah. He'll toss one bag over, and he'll get to work on this one over here.
Roll survival.
Okay.
Hiram rolled a 19.
23.
Okay. Simple enough. You net them. You have one more to do as well.
Yeah. As soon as that's done, net this one as well.
Okay. And as you put them in to the bag of holding, roll me another survival.
Can we work on this one together?
Yes, you can have advantage.
All right, that's good.
Okay, yeah. Simple enough. You get the ambush drakes tucked away.
5 for 5. One more to go.
One more.
I'll try to single out just one, so it's a little easier, not 3.
That would be nice.
Right.
And Hiram,
right.
like, sits down against a tree.
I think Kaelan likes to make his own trail rations. which is just like dried nuts and fruits with like cured meat. That is like, oh gosh, I guess they're like balls of rice, but there's like meat in the center,
Yeah.
and he'll toss one over to Hiram. I make these myself.
He
You want
catches
one?
it and says, "Thanks."
And then he'll offer like a little baggie of fruits and nuts.
Hiram accepts it.
So, this tavern, was it in a major city?
He kind of looks at you. Roll me a persuasion check.
Not very good at this.
That's a 1. He says, I really don't know you. Why do you ask?
That's fair. Just trying to make conversation. Do you ever take that helmet off? I mean, you have to if you sleep, right?
Of course I do.
Oh, well.
He does lift the visor part way to eat the rations. And as he does, you see... Well, roll me perception.
Now this I'm good at. Nope.
A 10. All you can
It's all
see
three.
is dark. Like, it looks like there's a beard there, and maybe there's beads in it.
Okay.
That's all you can see. You didn't roll. You rolled really poorly.
Yep. No, I like that. Tell me how. Tell me if you like that or not.
He nods.
All right. I feel like I should shut up now.
If that's how you feel.
You're not one for small talk, then, huh?
Not when I'm bleeding.
Oh, well, that's fair, I guess.
Sorry, I got a lot of, I guess, shit on my mind.
All right. Any cuts particularly bad? I know basic first aid, but nothing more.
Just a few teeth marks. I'll be fine with time.
All right. And
Did you come to the Mariguard to just hunt, ambush drakes, and talk?
No, I didn't. I mean, I obviously came to get better at ranging, and I mean, this is kind of my element, but I don't know. I've taken a liking to the other planes.
What do you mean?
As of just other planes of existence. I've run into a lot of strange creatures since I've been here.
You mean like the Feywild?
I've run into 2 different instances where I've run into Fae. So, kind of caught my interest. Why, you know?
He kind of tilts his helmet. I don't know much. Not about other planes. It's not the sort of thing that comes up often, I guess.
Right? I mean, you can live 21 years of your life and never hear anything about another plane. It's interesting.
So is that why you're here? To learn about the planes?
I'd say now it is, yeah.
In that case, are you gonna stick around after you pass your exam?
I think so. I'm just kind of focusing on learning more than I already know. I mean, it's the first time I've ever held a bag of holding. I didn't even know what it was or what it looked like.
I will say you're not what I expected for someone from Phobos.
Why do you say that?
You're not a sailor.
Huh. Oh. I do know how to sail, but, it's not.
Yeah, but it's not who you are. Everybody else I've met from around there is obsessed with being on the water.
I guess it's, I guess I am unique when it comes to that. Knew a lot of sailors, and I don't know. Didn't really think much of it until I came here, so. How do you like your instructor? I met him at breakfast one Saturday morning. Last Saturday.
He's wise, and he knows the ways of the world.
He seemed that way.
He's very connected to the natural gods.
All right. So you like your classes?
I didn't say that.
Well, what's your complaints? Promise I won't tell.
Emotional control. There's a lot of talking about how to control your emotions. And trials to test how angry you can get. I'm not very good at that.
You seem pretty in control of yourself just now.
He kind of tilts his helmet and he says, I'm having a good day.
Well, that's good. Wouldn't, by the way, you hit that one Drake just now. I wouldn't want to get on your bad side. That's for sure.
I wouldn't want you to be on my bad side either.
So, can I ask where you learned to track?
Back home. Before I worked the tavern, I grew up raising horses.
All right. So, when one would wander off, you'd have to go track it.
It's more about teaching them to move through the forest and rocklands.
Fair enough.
It's not hard to read the earth if you are familiar with it.
You got that right. Huh. Would Phobos have a lot of there would be horses, but not prominent, right?
Actually, horses would be pretty rare on Phobos. It's the sort of thing that nobility there would keep just as a basically, look how rich I am. It's because Phobos' terrain just doesn't really speak to horses well.
Yeah. So horses have actually, that's one thing I've never actually seen before until I came here. Or maybe once.
I grew up around them. They're everywhere. Back home.
Do you, it's pretty interesting. Do you, I mean, knowing what you know now of horses, are they your favorite? Or do you have a different favorite animal?
Kaelan,
What?
you're asking me what my favorite animal is.
Yeah.
Okay. And he just kind of lets his helmet thud back against the tree. I like groundhogs.
Is he fucking with me?
Roll an insight check.
He's fucking with me.
You don't know. He's hard to read.
All right.
What about you?
Awkward son.
What's your favorite animal, if that's important to you?
You know, I ask everyone this, but I don't know myself. You're the first one person to ask me. Huh.
There is a long pause. And then Hiram says, elk. My favorite animal is an elk.
You're strong. Beautiful, too. Can be. Dangerous as well. Good choice.
Thanks. Roll me a perception check. You notice on the pauldrons of his armor, there is a symbol of an elk head on each one. It's a small one, but it's there.
Ah. The player has just realized something, and that's cool. That's very cool. If I'm correct in my thinking right now.
What do you think?
As a totem.
You have earned a point of inspiration.
That's cool. Thank you. He's really thinking about his favorite animal now. You know, if you really want to know, I'm gonna have to get back to you on my favorite animal. I can't really decide.
The helmet lifts off the tree and looks at you. It's not that deep. I mean, you can always change your answer later.
Actually, now that I've said that, I'm gonna go with the Seahawk.
Why?
They're predators, they have good eyesight, and they live near the sea.
So there is some sailor in you after all, huh?
I've lived close to the sea all my life, yeah. So, a little bit, but not prevalent.
And I lived in horselands all my life. You grow up around those sorts of things and they become all you know. Which is part of why I'm here.
I don't want to forget my roots either.
You can't.
I mean, your roots give you the basis of who you are.
You can forget your roots just as well as an oak tree can.
That's true. Feel that I'm young enough to remember them still. Take them into account.
How old are you?
21.
Yeah. You're not going to forget him anytime soon.
So, are you a bit older then?
No. Well, a little, I guess. I'm 22.
All right. And what? Should I call you old timer now?
Hiram works.
Fair enough. Well then, are we feeling a little better?
Roll, if you're going to take a short rest, roll a hit die.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll it.
Hiram is back to full.
I am back to full as well.
Pushing off from the tree, Hiram kind of shrugs his shoulders, and for a moment, he does take off the helmet just to rub at his hair and try and shake the knots loose. And this is what he looks like.
Oh. Shit.
Barbarian.
Oh boy. Don't show pen this.
Yeah. But
oh man.
Then he puts the helmet back on. Hold on a minute. My foundry has broken as I've done that.
Uh-oh.
So that's cool. What the heck? Okay. Okay, Foundry, calm down, please. There we go. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, he puts the helmet back on.
So he's a human.
He is a human, and he says,
Okay.
let's see if we can find that last little shit.
Alright. Let's make this easy. And I think if we get the 6th one, we'll get a pretty nice bonus.
I hope you're right. I could use the money.
Alright. And then I'll treat you to a drink afterwards. How does that sound?
You have a deal, Kaelan.
Alright. And set off to find this last Drake.
Roll survival at advantage.
Haha.
A 25.
Good thing.
Is getting later in the day, and as such, with a 25, the noise in the forest is quieter. There's fewer wildlife out and about right now. With a 25, you isolate the tracks of another ambush drake. Takes about another 20 minutes to figure out where it's going, what direction it's moving in, and you realize it's heading toward the stream.
Alright. Might catch this one drinking some water.
That would be nice.
Alright, let's go.
Hiram follows you. Go ahead and roll me perception at advantage and stealth. A natural 20
again.
And
And
stealth.
stealth. Oh, man.
There's that disadvantage coming in. Hiram rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
What actually happens, you spot the stream, and as you are trying to approach it to get a better look at where the ambush drakes might be, Hiram loses his footing.
Oh.
He stumbles, his legs getting caught up on underbrush, and with a loud clatter of just... he is rolling down the incline toward the watering hole. As he is rolling down, with your natural 20 and 27, he catches the attention of 2 ambush drakes.
Oh, boy.
He is prone, and 2 ambush drakes are going to attack him immediately.
Can I try to intercept one of them with an arrow?
If you roll... Okay, so what we're going to do here... Hold on. Let me get the initiative tracker up. You're going to roll initiative, and if you beat them, you can on this surprise round because your natural 20 was so high.
Okay.
That is an 8. That is not fast enough. Actually, Hiram rolled better than you. Kaelan, what's going on with your dice? What happened? They were so good for so long.
I know.
All right. As Hiram is prone and stumbling down towards the stream, the ambush drakes get attacks on him. You just hear him say, "Fuck! Help!" They get their surprise round on him.
Oh, shit.
Hold on. He's prone, so they have advantage anyway. It's not really... Okay. He does have a crazy high AC with that shield and full plate, though. That's a 17 to hit, which misses, and a 23 to hit, which hits.
Okay.
1 out of the 2 isn't so bad. Hiram takes 7 points of damage from that bite, and I need to roll a save. He succeeds with a 21. Okay. But now, we begin combat. It is the left-hand ambush drake's turn, and it's going to attempt to bite Hiram again.
Okay.
A 19 does not hit Hiram's crazy AC.
Thank God.
Yes, his AC is 20 with that shield and full plate. It's now Hiram's turn. He stands up, draws his weapon, and finds himself in between 2 ambush drakes, and he looks up at you and he says, "Right, found him." And he's going to swing the longsword at the one who just tried to bite him.
Okay.
That's a 13 to hit, which is their AC. Okay, that's not... He hit for 4 damage. He barely hit it. But that's his turn. He's not going to rage yet. Kaelan, it's your turn. He can't rage. He's out of rages. He only has 1.
Okay,
Level 1.
So, let's move here.
Okay.
And, get flanking.
Okay, you have flanking.
Tomahawk and dagger. I think it only lasts for a minute, the favorite foe. So, but I have two of them.
Okay.
In a day.
Which they are a bonus action, I believe?
It doesn't say what kind of action. It's a passive ability.
Let me read it. So, would you throw it up in the... Actually, let me just read the feature here. Favorite foe. It's an active ability when you hit a creature. First level ranger feeder. Oh. Yeah, you can just do that a number of times. It's not an action or a bonus action.
Uh-huh.
Well, there we go.
Okay. And it's for 1 minute.
Okay.
The type of foe.
In this case, ambush drakes.
Yeah. Advantage. Oh, thank God for
That
advantage.
certainly hits.
All right.
10.
And
Yeah, you slam it with the back of that tomahawk.
11 for favorite foe.
Okay, and then the dagger?
The dagger. Natural 20. So 2d4?
It's a d4 plus 4. So 5.
5. Well, that's pretty good.
That's a great round. As you wail on this ambush strike, it being harangued by Hiram's own longsword and shield, it is not looking good at all. It's now the ambush strike on the far side is going to attack Hiram on it with advantage from flanking. It's a 17 to hit, which will not hit. It's now Hiram's... No, it's the other ambush strike's turn. It is going to whip around and bite at you, because you are not wearing this heavy steel armor, and also you just did a lot of damage to it.
Fair enough.
That's a 7 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hiram's turn. He's going to... Actually... He will swing the longsword at the one at his back.
All right.
He hits it with an 18. He clobbers it with the hilt of the longsword for 9 points of damage. And then he swings around and slams the ambush drake in front of you with his shield.
Sweet.
Because he is a shield master. That's a 22 to hit.
Hell yeah.
So this plus strength. It's basically... Oh, it just deals... Okay. He clobbers it for 4 damage. And it is unconscious.
All right.
Now it's your turn.
Okay. Just gonna hop over and run to the other side of this drake.
Okay. You can make it there. Yeah.
Okay. And as I'm running alongside it, he will baseball slide and strike at it with a tomahawk.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack at advantage.
All right.
23 hits.
3.
Good thing for advantage.
Yeah.
13. With that one blow, you knock the ambush drake unconscious.
All right.
Hiram's breathing deep, like his sword arm is clutching his chest where the bite got through the joint. He is looking at you and he says, "Thanks."
You all right?
Just my pride.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but that was quite a tumble.
Thanks. You just still didn't have to say anything.
Oh, just adjusting. Just a jest.
I'm getting the best drink they have.
Fair enough. I owe you one.
Let's net this fucker.
Well, you got only one net left, so guess leave one, or are we taking both?
I don't know. I don't want to risk... I mean, they gave us 6. We could try and stuff the 7th in.
It's gonna die if we stuff it in.
You're right. That's a waste of time. I guess just leave it here.
All right. Yeah. We will work together to
Roll survival.
put one in the net.
Yep.
Oh, thank
Man,
goodness.
DCs for this, they're never getting out. All right, that's a 25. Yeah, you net and bag the last ambush drake you needed.
Tag and bag. All right.
And as you finish the task. It is late in the afternoon, and Hiram says, "Let's get the fuck back."
All right. Let's get going. I'll look towards the sun and lead the way out.
Okay. The path that you've taken to track down these ambush drakes has been very winding and turning.
Yeah.
And the trek back to Ferrum is not actually that far, as the stream is only about an hour and a half away from the town's gates. You begin to head your way back. Roll me survival at advantage just to find your way out smoothly. If you roll poorly, there might be another encounter. That's a 14. Hold on.
A 5 and a 7. Wonderful.
No. With a 14, you know the way out well enough, following the cardinal direction of east, going back toward Ferrum. Going straight away from the stream, you head toward the gates of Ferrum, and before you know it, the walls of the city are before you. Hiram looks to you and says, "Let's drop these off at the Mariguard and then go to the Mariguard."
All right. Mariguard it is.
Yeah, the Mariguard. That's what I said.
Right. Yes. We'll head back to Persh.
Okay. When you do make it back, Persh looks up, noticing the two of you and your bag full of lizards.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't look like that, just looks like a bag. And he says, "I trust everything went fine then. You look mostly all right."
We're all right. First couple were pretty easy, but 6 it is.
You collected all 6.
Aye.
Well done.
We actually had an extra one, but we didn't have enough bags. So.
All right. Well, I can't give you anything extra for that, but I can give you 20 gold per drake. So that's, well, 120 gold or 60 each, if you're splitting it evenly, and I imagine you are.
Yep. 60 each.
Persh reaches into his desk and pulls out a couple pouches, spends a few moments counting coins, and then you are each handed a pouch of 60 gold pieces.
Sweet.
Hiram looks at you and says, "Right, so drinks on you then.
Aye.
Let's go."
Gotcha. Have a good day, Persh.
You as well, he's not in a helmet. You as well, gentlemen. And as he bids you goodbye and you and Hiram head to the Mariguard to go and get your drinks, that is where we will stop tonight's session.
Awesome.
I hope you had a good time. Thank you for playing with me. And I look forward to the next session.
Yes. I am. Yeah, that's going to be cool.
All
Hopefully.
right.